We'll go to October, November 2021, paper 1 of 2, Sociology AS 11. So, yeah, the first question says, describe two types of femininity. We have normative femininity and modernized femininity. So, what's the difference between normative? We call it normative or traditional femininity.
Those femininity.
Feminism is still part of how women are being called. So, we have the normative, which talks about the idea of females being less intelligent. Like you feel that women are not intelligent. That is normative or traditional femininity. So that's why you feel that they should be at home. Do you get the point?
No.
There's normative or traditional femininity, which talks about female being seen as less intelligent, that they are not intelligent. That is normative femininity. Okay. Then we have the modernized femininity, which talks about female having almost the same intelligence as men, that they can always help each other. That is the modern day society. That is what it implies. Yes. In the traditional era, you feel women don't have the technical know-how to be working, to have a job. That's why they have their traditional role of taking care of the child, of giving birth to babies. That is normative or traditional femininity. But the modernized femininity is talking about how women are so intelligent that they could even help men. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's the difference between normative femininity and modernized femininity. Okay. So we go to question 2. It said, explain 2 reasons why a researcher might use more than one method. Why will a researcher use more than one method? Now, using more than one method means what? Triangulation. We talked about it before. Triangulation means that you are using 2 or more methods for your research. For your research, to make it more valid and reliable. Okay. So here I wrote, researcher might use more than one method based on the following reasons. Number 1, the use of different methods help to gain validity and reliability. When you use more than one method, and you get the same result, it means it's valid, and it means that you can repeat it. That is validity and reliability. The first point. The second point, it provides a check on the accuracy of findings of different types of methods. So when you use different kinds of methods, it gives you opportunity to know if method A is accurate with method B, if method B is accurate with method C, or if method D is not working, is not the same as method A, method B, or C. It shows you the accuracy of all methods. Yes. Do you get the point? Because you use method A, B, C, and D. So if method A, B, C gives you the same result, and method D is not giving you the same result, that means method D is not working. That shows accuracy. Is it clear? All right, we'll go to question B. Explain one strength and one limitation of using covert approach to participant observation. What is covert approach? Covert approach means that the researcher is not known to the participants.
Researcher.
Yeah, that means the presence of the researcher is private. You don't know the researcher. You don't know, the participants do not know that they are researched on. They don't know that they are being researched on. That is covert participant observation. You are in somewhere, you are researching. You are making a research on people that they don't even know that you are making research on them.
Yes.
That is covert.
That's a type.
That's the type of observation, covert participants. Okay. There is overt. Overt shows the presence of the researcher.
Yes, covert.
Yeah, do you understand? So the strength of covert approach is that it takes away the Orton effect. The Orton effect. Because what is Orton effect?
When the people know that
when the behavior of the people is being influenced by the presence of the researcher. So do you get the point? When the behavior of the participants or respondents are being influenced by the presence of the researcher, that is covert. That is Orton effect. So with covert approach, there will not be Orton effect because the participants do not know that they are being researched upon.
Yes.
So that's the strength of using covert participant observation.
Limitation.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So the problem about using participant observation is that it is not ethical. It is not ethical.
So,
It's not ideal. It's against the law. You are checking people that don't know. It is unethical. It is not. Do you understand the point?
I mean, like it's illegal.
You are invading the privacy of people that do not know that you are invading their privacy.
Yes.
So it is unethical, isn't it? When I have to research on you,
You can't say it's illegal,
no,
but
it's
so
unethical. Because it's a job.
yes, yes.
So you are not doing it with ethics. It is not moral. It's not a moral way to do things. That's why we call it unethical. Do you get the point?
Yes.
So here, what I'm trying to say is that the researcher is in private mode. Nobody knows that he's observing them. And you are observing people that don't know that you are observing them. That means you are invading their privacy. That is the unethical aspect of it. So that is the limitation. Is it clear? We go to question 3. It said, cultural deprivation is the main reason individuals act in deviant ways. We talked about deviant already, criminal acts, right? So here he's talking about cultural deprivation. That means lack of culture has made people to behave in that way. Lack of culture makes people to have criminal mind. Did you get the point?
Yes.
All right, so I wrote, cultural deprivation is the main reason that individuals act in deviant ways due to the following reasons. Number 1, failings in early socialization and family background, in terms of failing in preschool education, in skills of learning, might make people to behave in a criminal way because they failed already. They failed within the family. They failed. They failed in school. They failed to have a skill. They lack all these things, but they need to live. So as a result of their failure, they find a shortcut, which is the criminal act. You don't get it? Cultural deprivation means you lack guidance, you lack family care, you lack educational knowledge. That is what it means. So these make you to behave in this way, in a deviant way, in a criminal way. You get the point here? So now we should explain this view. So this view is talking about cultural deprivation, which is lack of culture, lack of understanding, lack of knowledge in education, lack of proper bringing up, from the family.
You say that's because of the lack of socialization.
Yes, it's lack of family socialization, lack of educational socialization. It's still the same.
Okay.
So because you lack this family socialization and you failed in school, or you fail to understand how family works. So this failure has made you to behave in this way in society. You failed in all social aspects of life, but you need to live this life. You need to live it. You need to enjoy yourself. You need to feel like you have a life too. But the only way out, because you have failed on the positive side, is to try the negative side, which is deviance. So a lot of crimes are happening because there are failures from the individual side. So the guy failed in education. The guy failed in skills. The guy failed in crafts. There's no way to go to. So the only thing is to join the bad gangs. And that is deviance. Do you get the point? The second point, cultural deprivation is the idea that some social group experience inadequate socialization, which can negatively impact on their behavior. So here, it's not that you failed in family socialization, but the experience is not good enough. The father or the mother did not train you enough. As a result, it impacts in how you behave. Do you get it? So, oh, don't you have home training? Why are you behaving this way? So it's not that you are so bad, but you only know what you know. So your family did not teach you well enough. or the school did not teach you well enough. And that is why you are behaving this way. Is it clear?
Yes.
So, however, now to oppose the view, I said cultural deprivation might not be the reason for individual deviance in the society based on one, evidence of the persistence of social pressure promoting conformity. That's the social exchange theory we talked about. The pressure from the society. The pressure from society pushed you to the wall. Then, as soon as you get to the wall, there's no way out than to face the society back in any way you can face it, to survive it. So that might make them to see you as being deviant. The society, there's social policies, there are rules, there are regulations, there are laws. But you feel these laws are too much against you. That makes you to feel, no, I can't take this anymore. To get it from now. The society, there's pressure in the society to become somebody. Let's assume that the society only reckons with those that are rich. The society only reckons that the society recognizes only those that are rich. That means there's a social pressure, yes or no? Yes. That is what we call the social exchange theory. So with this social pressure, because the society only recognizes those that are rich, any rich ways, I want to be rich too. And there's no other ways than to go into the negative side. So that is the point about the evidence of the persistence of social pressure, promoting conformity. We get the first point.
Yes.
The second point is marginalization. When we talk about marginalization, here it's about the group. There are different groups in the society, yes or no? So if there are some groups that are so powerful than your group, you feel that they are deviant. You tag them, you label them being deviant because they are so stronger. They resist your pressure. That's what we call marginalization. So you label them as being deviant because they are so powerful than what you think. You get the point?
Yes.
A bit.
Yes.
When we talk about marginalization, it's an approach that some groups are more powerful than other groups. There are different groups, right?
Yes.
So if your group is so stronger than my group, that means you are powerful than us, right? So this might make us to feel that you are deviant. You are criminals.
Yes.
Do you get it? Do you get the point? So we label you deviant because your group is so powerful than our group. Yes. We cannot contain you. Yes. So this happens anywhere. So people see you as being deviant because they cannot toss you around. They cannot control you. Yes. That is the point there. Okay. Is it clear? Yes. Then I talked about structural approaches. I said structural approaches that focus on social economic factors that can also give rise to criminal behavior. What I'm talking about here is that the structure itself, the structure of the society, how the society is, gives more references to social economy. So it is about who is rich. The society is about who is rich, who is wealthy. Do you get the point? So because the society is about who is rich, who is wealthy, I want to be seen to in the society, but I don't have any other pure means or legal means to do it. I will do it illegally. That is the structural approaches that gives focus or that gives recons to social economic issues. So it's all about how wealthy you are that makes you to be relevant in the society. So if I'm not wealthy, I cannot be relevant. Then I want to be wealthy in any cost, in any way. That might make me to misbehave. And that is deviance. Is it clear?
Yes.
Structural approaches that focus on social economic factors can also give rise to deviance or criminal acts. The structure we're talking about is this: how the society is built. The society is built in a way that it favors the wealthy people.
The what?
The wealthy people, those that are rich, they are the ones enjoying the society. So because those that are rich are the ones enjoying the society, I want to be rich too. So I can also enjoy the society. So for me to be rich here, it might make me to do some things that I'm not supposed to do.
Yes.
That is criminality. Do you understand now? So the structure of the society that reckons with socio-economic factors like wealth makes people to behave in a certain way, to acquire wealth. Do you get it?
Yes.
Question 4. It said, evaluate the view that an individual identity is largely shaped by their social class. So that means your identity is shaped based on the class you belong. So you have this identity because you are in the middle class. You have this identity because you are in the working class. You have this identity because you are in the upper class or the ruling class. So that is the point. So we have to support it first. Is it clear?
Yes.
So here I wrote, an individual identity is largely shaped by their social class based on the following reasons. 1, social class is influenced on attitudes and values of education, politics. That means the people you vote for, workplace, peer group, and cultural consumption. So the social class, the identity, your individual identity is based on school, how they see you in school, in education, the kind of people you walk around with. Do you get the point?
Okay.
The kind of food you consume is an individual identity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get the point here? So we're talking about how individual identity shapes through class. So with your social class, which could be education, which could be at your work, which could be your peer group. So you can be seen through those identity, through those class. So the kind of people you move with, your peer group, I can label you who you are.
Yes.
The kind of school you go to can label the kind of person you are. The kind of food you eat, the kind of clothes you wear, the kind of cars you use, the kind of house you use can identify you in the society. And how do you get this kind of house? It's because you are in the working class, or it's because you are in the upper class. Do you understand the first point?
Yes.
The second point, social class is influenced on attitudes and values. Okay, I talked about it. The second point, people always identify themselves in class terms. So, yes, I'm a working class. I'm working this. I'm having a stable income. So most of the time, you want to identify yourself based on the class you belong to. Do you get the point? So that means individual's identity is shaped with class, because every individual wants to be known with a class. I wrote, people always want to identify themselves in class terms. So you want to identify yourself based on the kind of class you belong to. I want to identify myself based on the class I belong to. Oh, we are in the ruling class.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you should see us. This is how you address us. The way you want to be addressed is your identity, right? So because you're in the ruling class, you want them to address you as a ruling one. So that means individual's identity is largely shaped by your social class. You get the point?
Yes.
The third one, structural differences persist because life classes is still based on class. So the structure we have in this society is based on class. So you're going to have access to work. You're going to be able to have the best job available because you have people that belongs to that group. So the kind of class you belong will determine the kind of job you have. And the kind of job you have will determine how you move, how your mobility to the social ladder is. So if you belong to the ruling class, you'll be able to get jobs within the ruling class.
Yes.
So that means our life chances are based on the kind of class. And your life chances are individual life chances. So I'll be able to have a better job if I belong to maybe a ruling class. Yes, a better class, yes. Is it clear? The last point there is, many sociologists do point out objective differences between class groups. Also, different sociologists, they said classes, like the masses, they said there's class. And this kind of class determines who you are in the society. So it is still individual. So that means there's no class without individuals. And there are no individuals without class. Is it clear?
Yes.
So now, however, because we are evaluating. However, identity these days are now linked to consumption, leisure, and lifestyle choices. It is not about your class. I might be in the working class and spend so much money. So they won't talk to me about being in the working class. They will talk to me as being wealthy. Do you get the point here? These days, people identify you. I'm talking about opposing it now. These days, people identify you based on how you spend, based on what you put on. You are not the one identifying yourself. You are not the one linking yourself to the class anymore. People see you this way because you are able to spend this way. Yeah. So your consumer habit can determine your identity. Do you understand? The kind of lifestyle you live. Some people are not kings. They are not from royal family. Yes or no? But they live like a royal person. Are they in the ruling class? No. But when you see that, you think they are kings. That's the first point. The second point, it is better to compare the relative importance of class to other sources of identity, such as gender and ethnicity. Don't compare it with individual. Compare it with gender. Compare it with ethnicity, like the kind of culture. So culture can be based on class. Gender can be based on class, but not individuals.
What do you mean?
I'm opposing it now. I said,
yes,
instead of us to talk about linking individuals to social class, why can't we link gender to social class?
Maybe.
Yes. Why can't we link religion to gender class, to class? That is the point. Is it clear?
Yes.
The third point, there are some evidences that show that the disappearance of class identity. These days, nobody is talking about class. You know why? We are all working class, middle class.
Yes.
You get the point? I can afford the basic needs. You can afford the basic needs. So what's the class? I can use the car. You can use the car. What's the class? So these days, social class is declining. So everybody is just like the same. We are just middle class. Do you get the point? And due to globalization, the last point is about globalization. Migration, people are coming in and going out. So I could choose who I want to become, who I want to choose. I could learn from someone and become who I want to become. So it is not the social class that is making me to be who I want to become. I have seen, oh, I saw this Nigerian, he's a teacher, so I want to be a teacher. Not because my family is part of a teacher. No, they are not from the family, they are not a teaching family. But I have seen a role model, not from my family, not because of our social class, but because of globalization. I've seen a lot of things that makes me to shape myself based on this way, not social class. Is it clear?
Yes.
Any question about it?